All right. Well, I'm here with Julian Guilarte. Julian, you're back on Alex Garrett podcasting. Thanks for joining me once again.
I know it's been a minute. We've been trying to put this together. Happy we could do this. It was great to see you this weekend too. Got that nice picture of you at Bertie Williams, which is pretty cool. So I'm happy you got to get out there and do that. It was fun to finally meet you in person.
Was that your first rodeo at the Pinstripe Pride event, or have you been doing something like that at autograph shows and whatnot?
I haven't done the Pinstripe Pride per se, but there was a couple other things I've gone to that are a little bit different, but nothing quite like that one.
Well, let me ask you about, it was a big deal by Hall of Fame signings. I thought they put on a great show, don't you?
Yes, I think it was fantastic. Like you had all these former Yankees, even a few current guys sneaking in with Nestor and Oswaldo. And I actually did get to see them in individual settings earlier this year. So that was noteworthy. And you saw some guys that weren't even there on the team that long, like Andrew Jones, a couple like Mike Lowell's in the building. I mean, got to meet Ricky Henderson, snap a selfie with him. That was pretty crazy. So it was definitely a good weekend.
You know, Jason Dominguez, who's just been called up to the spring training roster. Can you tell us about that real quick?
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. Dominguez is a non-invitee. I think it's fun. We're gonna get to see him in camp. I don't think he's gonna be with the big club on opening day by any means, but I think he's gonna probably end up slotting in Double-A. I said this on my podcast the other day. They are putting him on the ticket pictures, so I'm pretty sure they're planning to have him start with Somerset. Get that good promo. He'll be like Volpe was last year. It'll be Dominguez now. He'll be the center of attention for Somerset, and I'm excited. I mean, I think his back came a long way. Defense, I'm not 100% sure. I haven't seen enough. I've heard different things, mixed reviews. I want to see more with my own eyes. I know he can run like crazy. I've seen him run and beat out infield singles, get triples, steal bags. So that's really cool. I think he's going to be great. I really do.
Tell me about, because this is part of the Off the Record series, is it not, that you went down to Somerset? I think you went down to Trenton as well. I mean, you've been working the circuit in the minor leagues for the Yankees. So watching these guys come up, I mean, can I ask you about Oswaldo? Because you kind of saw him as well, didn't you?
Yes, I haven't done the off the record thing in a while. I got to bring it back. I'm happy you brought that up. My friend Martin Stacon came up with that idea. It's a Snapchat series that I'll bring back. Jay Guilarte 140 for those that want to follow. It's just when I talk about things I don't say like on tweets and like on air for like certain reasons. Like I'll give you my more blunt opinions that are a little bit open. But I have done a lot of traveling. The circuit's been fun. I went to Hartford. Oswaldo I saw a little bit in Double-A and not too much. But I did. He was very good. He was in the infield. Him and Peraza were showing second for a little bit, and then you saw Oswaldo at third a little bit. Didn't play the outfield in the minors, but you could tell that both of them were going to be good and look like they have bright futures. This was in 21. I saw them last year. They were obviously not in Somerset.
You have, obviously you have dugout stations, and I have to imagine all of this media. You've kind of done this media training yourself and whatnot. I mean, did you go to,
kind of.
but did you take journalism? Did you take this in college as well? Give us a little background on your life.
Okay, yeah, I'll let you know. So like I did take journalism in college. I got a communications degree from William Patterson. I didn't go right into it. I kind of regret some things I did after graduation, but I mean, I injured my knee and stuff, and a few other things happened. But then I started building on Twitter, just doing pre-games and recaps slowly. Then it evolved to Facebook, Instagram. Then I got picked up by some people. Had a lot of things happen along the way. This is like the third or fourth company now, in a sense. I've worked for some other people too that have helped me get press passes, but Dugout Station is what we're into now. It's me and Sandy, and she's been doing a great job helping me with interviews and designs and a couple other things. We've been doing Spanish podcasts too. We got 2 international guys coming in the next week. Actually, not even the next week, like earlier than that, the next few days. But yeah, I mean, I kind of learned myself a little bit. I've been lucky to get some advice from people like Coke and Curry and a few others that have definitely helped mentor me in the right direction too. The one thing I want to do more is write. I haven't been writing as much as I should, but I have been kind of just taking the phone, doing the broadcasting, and just going on the fly from time to time, like in all these different places, like you see.
But you are in the BBWA. Tell us about that as a member of the baseball writers. You were at the dinner, were you not?
Yeah, I'm not a member, but I did get a ticket to the dinner. Now that's a goal I'm trying to get to, because if you're a member, you could basically go to any ball game in the majors, minors, whatever. So that's something I'm working towards. I'm not a member, but tickets were open to people. But that was a crazy scene, seeing Aaron Judge in person. He was roped off though, signing for kids. I couldn't get too close. I was able to get really close to Alcantara and Jeremy Pena, but it was kind of a madhouse, so I couldn't really speak to him too much. Albert Pujols was in the lobby. People were going crazy, like bombarding him. Like he was just trying to get food and like go up to his hotel room. He wasn't having any of it. It was a scene. It was really
So
something.
you
But
saying the average person like you and I can go to these events, even if we're not credentialed, so to speak?
yeah, it's just you got to pay a little bit of money to get the ticket. But yeah, they do open it up to the public in a sense. Yeah, some events they do, some they don't. I mean, you can get creative. You can figure some things out. I mean, I'll be in touch with you. All you know what's up.
Give us your Twitter, by the way. I know it's Dugout Station, but it's also your own Twitter.
Yeah, so Dugout Station is Twitter, and that's what we're really trying to grow. Instagram. And then we have Facebook too, even we're on our podcast center. YouTube is a big thing. We're trying to get those subs up. We're just getting going again. I think it's only been like 3 weeks, not even at this point. So we're still trying to like get everyone to know it's our channel. Some people are still confused. Like, are we still doing this? Are we still doing that? I'm like, no, it's just Dugout Station. But my personal is Julian Guilarte 1. That's Twitter. Instagram's Julian Guilarte 11. That's the best way to find me.
Well, maybe I'm not the only one that wonders, is this your full-time job, or are you doing things alongside reporting on the Yankees and even the minor league system?
Well, that's an interesting question in itself too, because I did quit my job 2 years ago, my normal job. So right now, this is what I'm doing. I'm still working to get more and figure out certain avenues. But yeah, this is what I'm up to right now. It's all Yankees reporting, baseball work, and all the things you see me doing is the work I'm putting in at this moment. I'm still looking for more. I'm never really satisfied until I have everything I'm looking for, which we don't yet, but we're gaining progress, we're getting exposure, but it's about making things fully happen and solidifying it.
Well, I love that you were there with me on Sunday. We just kind of bumped into each other, but then we were just, we stuck together and hung out and saw Ricky Henderson and all the greats backstage. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, I had to snap that photo really quick. I was like the last one. I'm like, Ricky, he's like, oh, can I get that picture quick? I was like, I wanted to pass him a business card, but his wife was like, no autographs. So no, she was like, no interviews. I was like, fuck.
I got to ask you what that was like, just putting the microphone in front of Mike Feinsand's face and saying, hey, give me a few minutes. I did the same thing with him and Brian Hoke. They're great guys.
Yeah, so I can tell you about that. It's fun. I love doing it. Like, I just set that mic up too. Like, I was having some issues with it too. I had to run to Best Buy to get someone to help me to get it to work, because like I'm still trying to learn how to pair the damn thing. You got to hold it for a million seconds. But day one, I got Brian Hoke interview. Yes, and me and Brian have a good relationship. I'm lucky that I've got to speak with him, so that was very easy, and it didn't take too much. I just asked him like you did too. I'm sure it wasn't bad for you either. He's very approachable. He's very willing to help out. He gave some good intel on the Yankees spring training, as I know you heard, and like some of his thoughts on the shortstop and left field situation. So he always has the best notes, and he's very plugged in, very approachable, down to earth, and always willing to help. So it was fun talking to him.
What is the left field situation? I really don't think Hicks should be out there, if I can opinionize for a minute. He had that bad collision in Game 5 against the Guardians, and he didn't play at all against Houston. And I thought that collision was sort of the end for him. But
so did I.
People believe he's going to be in left field this year. What do you think?
Well, I actually just did a video. I mean, you could check it out. Other people can too. It's the latest one on our YouTube channel, but I'm not going to bore everyone with the whole spiel of that. So I'll give you my straight to it. I think that it's a lot of semantics right now. I would be surprised if it was actually Aaron Hicks, but here's the thing that I won't want people to get too worked up on. Remember this. Let's say Aaron Hicks starts the first game in left fields or whatever, or Josh Donaldson starts the third base, which I mean, I hope they both don't happen, but if they do, it's not the end of the world, because like they're not going to play every game. They're going to see rotations. Like I'm sure Oswaldo gets the second game or something, or maybe even Ortega breaks through because he's really good against righties. So, I mean, Hicks isn't going to play full time, even if he ends up starting right in the first game. He's not going to play like 130 plus games, I wouldn't think. Also, there's always an injury problem with him anyway. But as Brian Hoke said, he wouldn't be shocked if the Yankees pull a rabbit out of their ass, like kind of like with the Gio Urshela and Gary Sanchez thing last year. They walk in the spring and then they're gone the next second. Like he said, he could see a shakeup somewhere in that left field area. And going back to Feinstein, he said he was really surprised we didn't make a move out there. That was his biggest surprise for us this offseason.
Because Brian Reynolds is still a free agent, is he not?
Well, Reynolds is a trade option, and the Pirates want a ton, and the Yankees don't want to give what they're looking for because they're asking for the top guys. They also want really upper end pitching talent, which the Yankees traded away with Waldichuk and Wisniewski last year. So that's not really, I don't think that Reynolds is going to happen. Mark also told me he thinks the Pirates are asking for way too much. He doesn't think it's worth what they're asking right now for anyone. He thinks he's going to stay put for the time being just because the price is just too exorbitant.
You know, you had to sign Aaron Judge, right? But I mean, I think they had some good reinforcement with Rodon in the rotation, which actually Mike Franson reminded me of because I've been so busy. You forget these transactions as they come and go.
It was a while ago. I'll give you that.
But it's true. Rodon is going to be part of that rotation, a rotation that is going to have a Garrett Cole that we don't know what we're going to get. I hate to say it, but I feel like that's the vibe every time he's on the mound. Can he make a correction here this year? And does that rotation bolster help him now?
I think it does. I think it lights a fire under his ass because I could see a scenario where Rod Zone outpitches Garrett Cole, and I could see him being better in certain statistics potentially. There's just a question of how is he going to transition to the Yankees. I think Rod Zone's got that bulldog mentality. I don't think New York's going to phase him. I think he's loving. He picked us for a reason. The Yankees were his clear destination. There wasn't even a second competition. I don't think that was anywhere too close for his services, honestly. I'm excited. I think Cole needs to get some things right. I don't think he's as bad as some might say, but like the home run ball killed him last year. I mean, that's the problem.
The signing of Frankie Montas. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So he avoids an arbitration, but then he goes on the injured list, and it's like, did they knowingly sign him injured? Can you guys insight on that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I hate that trade so much because I was a big Ken Waldichuk fan. I know his pitching coach really well from his offseason pitching coach. I thought Ken was going to be a stud for us. He could have been in the rotation this year. I mean, he's a good lefty. We saw flashes. We saw flashes from him with Oakland a little bit last year. I really think that he could have been really solid for the Yankees. And I think that Montas was always a big gamble, especially because they knew he was injured. But to me, I don't think they knew to the extent. That's what it seems like to me. I think they just took the chance because they whiffed on Castillo. Like, we got to do something. Because the problem was there was no one else. Who else were they going to get? Like, there was no other starting pitcher. It was Castillo, it was Montas. They whiffed on Castillo. They did a desperation move for Montas, I think. I mean,
they got rid of Montgomery, which people seemingly didn't forget, I should say. They remember that pretty well. Although Bader made the trade-off pretty damn good, I think. So
yeah, I think that's what it was too, because like you had to do something because you got rid of Monty, obviously. I think Monty was actually after Montas, if I remember correctly. I think that's why people were surprised by it. But I just think that the Montas situation has disaster written all over it. Obviously, at this point, the shoulder is not getting any better. I don't know what we're going to get from him this year. I can't really expect too much right now. I know Pete Simonetti, who's got some good info, put out these stuff that he could end up getting surgery at the end of the year. We haven't heard anything yet. Although Brian told me that he wouldn't be shocked if it happened. He didn't say he knew one way or the other. But he said the Yankees were being very quiet about Montas, and quiet is not good because we know what that normally leads to. So we could speculate on that.
I'm glad you're mentioning that you're referencing other people, because I think it's important you have sources, and I think it's all good when we have our sources because that's how we break into the industry more. Is it not?
Yeah, I'm trying my best. Like, I don't want to give up too much stuff. Like, I don't want to tell on everyone, but like, it's stuff that it's all this information's out there in a sense anyway, and like certain things have been said that I keep to myself too. But yeah, you got to just try to network, like build with people, talk, see who you could trust. Like sometimes I've been burned by some things like I shouldn't have believed. Like I've made some mistakes. Like I'm not.
I mean, like we all believe John Heyman was the Giants signed Aaron, arson judge. I mean, come on.
Well, that one I actually didn't fully believe. I still held faith we were going to keep him, but that was a crazy experience being out there and going through all that. It's you
didn't fly with Aaron to San Francisco, did you?
I went to San Diego, not San
Oh,
Francisco.
that's
But
right. I just feel like everybody followed Aaron everywhere, So I
that's
was
a
like,
funny
I
question.
remember
That's
when you went to San Diego. Tell us about that, because obviously the winter meetings happen. You have the couple of days there that everybody's so dramatic about it. It was like, okay, John Heyman tweets this, doesn't happen. Turns out Yanks got him for 9 years. But I do think, and maybe you could sense that in the winter meetings, Aaron was using the Giants as leverage. Can we say that now?
Yeah, I think so. I think the Padres coming out of nowhere too was
That's
also
true.
kind of surprising. The Padres were just throwing money around like crazy, and you saw the deal for Bogarts, which I still think is an absurd amount of money for him in years, but playing him till he's like 41. But yeah, I think the Giants were a big leverage play. Looking back on it, I think that's kind of what we could all sense. You see things are coming out. The Giants are pissed. They thought they were getting him. Like a lot of people thought he was really going. The team was invested too. Like the Giants really went all out for him, and they whiffed. And then they whiff on Correa too with that medical thing. Like it was a bad off season for the Giants. Probably one of the worst we've seen in a long time, honestly.
They were a World Series champion not too long ago. It doesn't feel like it, right?
No, yeah, they feel like they're distant now. Like they're a third place team behind the Giants and Dodgers, who are stacked. I mean Padres, but now people are thinking the Diamondbacks would even catch them too, maybe. So we got to watch for that. But yeah, I mean, it was really crazy being out there. It was fun. I enjoyed that too, and we'll see what happens next year too.
Well, tell me about what you're about to do in February, late February, March. I can't imagine you're going to be anywhere else but Tampa. I mean, and are you expecting a huge circus everywhere Aaron Judge walks? Is this going to be like hollow ground everywhere he walks down there now? What are your thoughts?
I think that well, I know he's already signing autographs for people out of the minor league complex. Someone told me that. So yeah, expect the circus to be in town. Everyone's gonna be really thrilled he's back. Yes, I am gonna be down there. I'm not gonna be down there in March or February, for the most part, but 14 to 26. I'm going next Tuesday, gonna see what we could do. See if I can get some
Where are you
creds.
out of now? Where do you live? Just I never really.
I live in Jersey, like Oakland in the Bergen County area. So
So actually going to Somerset's not a bad drive for you then down there.
no, that's why I like it. It's like 40, 50 minutes. I will be back there this year for sure. I'm really looking forward to returning to Somerset. And that's the main guest content everyone wants to see. And some of the other prospects too. We'll see what
Volpe's
happens.
definitely going to AAA this year, right? We could say that.
Yeah, he's got to be AAA 100%. He's going to be right there knocking on that door to make the majors. I wouldn't be shocked if it takes only a month or two, depending on some service time stipulations or how they shake up the infield. Maybe it's more of like a June, July thing, but it's going to happen at some point. It's just a matter of when. Everyone's anticipating it. Like it's going to be at some point next season. We'll get more clarity during spring training and stuff.
Do you think do you think people were wrong to boo Hal last year on O'Neill Day? I really got
I
bothered.
was out there for that. Were you there?
I was there. It was emotional to watch O'Neill get retired because we grew up with him.
Right.
But also, as you know, my connection with the Steinbrenner family, I was like, what are they booing him for? This team still wins. I know we're not getting the ring, but they're so competitive every year.
Yeah.
But what were your thoughts on that?
I was like, I can't say I was shocked because it's just like the way people are, especially you see this stuff on Twitter. Half the people on Twitter don't go to games, like more than that. Like most of the Bills people, they're just stay home and they're like, I'm bad and whatever. I mean, just like, we don't win a World Series, type, like all that crap. I'm like, I mean, I get it, but like, I don't know if he should have been booed. I mean, he was just doing what's he was just handing out the thing and just like cutting the check or whatever, like whatever was going on. But like, I think it lit a fire under his ass. Made him make sure we got Carlos Rodon over here, but we're still not going to go over that top tax. But the Yankees have enough talent to win. Like the payroll shouldn't be sufficient if you think about it. Honestly, like, yeah, we want a left fielder, we want to maybe get another bullpen arm, but like there's enough talent on this team. There's been a lot of bad contract decisions. Like, why is Josh Donaldson here? Like, what are we doing? Like, Aaron Hicks turns out terribly. It's $10 million, and then. Yeah, there's a few other.
Do you work? I want to ask about Aaron Boone's excuse machine. Can I just call it that? I felt like there was an excuse machine. Do you see that coming up this year as well? Do you see him? He doesn't handle the media well. Can I just say that?
I don't. Yeah, man, I agree with you. I hate it too. Like, I feel like he should be better at it, especially because he was on TV too. Like, I don't know if it's like the front office fan like wanting him to say certain things. He's just like going what they want him to do. Like, I feel like he's smarter than like what he lets off. Honestly, I really do. He's a great baseball mind. I wish he would use it more than just like going by the numbers and all that half the time. But like some of the decisions are just like you could tell it's not. It just doesn't seem like a nice good baseball decision. It's just like
I didn't mind Pereza. I thought that was okay. We'll give him a shot. But Matt Carpenter barely got a swing since fracturing his foot in August, and he was in the lineup all of a sudden against
yeah, that was tough,
Houston.
bro. That was tough. I didn't like that too much either. Like, I know he was just hitting off, but he was just doing like live BPs in Somerset. Like, it wasn't real game action. Like, and they thought he looked good because like the swing velo was there or whatever. But like, nah, he wasn't ready for the moment. Like, the problem is the Yankees lineup was in such a bad spot against the Astros. They were throwing darts at the wall, like trying to see if something would stick, and nothing was working. Like they were mixing and matching everything. You had 3 different shortstops, like no lineup continuity. Like it's just an absolute mess. And I want them to get themselves together and figure out some consistent lineup structure.
I agree with that. And I guess, Michael King said something to the effect of, oh, if we faced the Astros in June or May, we would have beat them. And I'm like, you lost to them then too. You only split with them in June and then July. It was terrible. But I wanna ask you this because
Yeah,
obviously
I didn't really understand his point with that. Like, I didn't love that comment really. I mean, it's
very
just like
strange.
it doesn't make any sense, dude. Like the Astros own us. I mean, the Yankees were rolling at a certain point in time. I guess he was trying to say if they play like that, like maybe they could do it. Like, I mean, it still took 2 walk-offs when we were losing to end up beating them. I mean, it's just not a great look. And we need to be better against them, obviously. And they need to execute from start to finish. Like they can't have another steady stretch like they had in August and September last year.
Did you get to any of the road games like when they went to the playoffs? Did you go to Houston?
No, I haven't done a road playoff game. We got to get that off the list this year. I did go to St. Louis, so that was a lot of fun, even though we got slapped. And that was in the midst of some of our worst baseball we played.
They had a
But
5-1 or 2 lead in the Friday night game, and then they blew it. It just was like, what are we doing? Hey,
yeah, that was the first one that I was at. I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. I was by myself too because my friends had all types of travel issues. Like we were looking good. I thought we had it. And then like Brett, I think blew it or whatever. But it's yeah, that was a tough one. And it just all went downhill after that.
obviously, we have a lot of opinion on this podcast, but as an up and coming, can I still say up and coming journalist that's
Yeah, you
working to
can, because I'm not all the way through, so you can say that.
breaking ground still? Do
Thank
you
you.
try and monitor what you're saying so you can get credentialed by the Yankees or what?
It's tough. I mean, I try my best. It's like I'm on a double-edged sword here. Like people say I gotta be careful how I toe the line. Like I can't be too fan oriented, but then I don't want to lose my personality and become like a scripted journalist either. So like it's tough. Like I try to weigh the line both on both sides. I mean, really depends because like yeah, the Yankees with credentials are strict as anyone, obviously. Like I got Mets and I got Marlins. I could probably do some other major teams, but Yankees were still working. Might get something through spring training. We'll see. But I mean, yeah, you got to be careful with certain things. I mean, the Yankees see everything. That's the thing. They're watching. Like they see what's going on.
Hey, I don't know. I just think we are trying to get mission 28 accomplished and we haven't. And I think that's really bugging everybody.
Yeah,
But I'm
that's
tired of
fair.
people saying, I'm done with this team. I'm done with this. You guys are gonna be in the seats on opening day. Come on now, right?
I know. I'm sick of that too. Like, grow up and grow a pair while you're at it. Stop complaining. You're gonna be right back there on opening day doing it all again. Like, if you go, even if you don't go to the game, you're still watching on TV and you're still invested. Don't be like, I'm done with this, because you're not done with this. That's garbage. Like, maybe 5 to 10% of people actually quit, and then if they do, like, oh, I mean, grow up, honestly. Like, that's all I have to say about that. Like, we could be frustrated, but people are going, I'm done, this and that. No, they aren't.
I think Snapchat's a great way of staying connected with you because you literally tell people, hey, I'm going to the game today. Like, I love when you do that stuff. So.
Yeah, no, I gotta get back on it. Thank you. Like I've been a little bit busy. Like my other friend was like, you haven't been posting on there. I'll start doing it again. Like I'm gonna get back into it. Gotta do that, especially for spring training. I gotta get it going.
Well, and don't forget the World Baseball Classic. Are you covering that at all? Or
damn, I was gonna try to get out there and do it, but it looks like I'm gonna be home, unfortunately. But I could still cover some things from home and give some takes and like watch certain things and probably cut up highlights or whatever. But yeah,
I was listening to another show and there Kevin Kiernan was on, and he was a former New York Post writer, and he's a great guy. But he was like, remember, those going to spring training, you may not see your favorite player because they'll be in the World Baseball Classic. I still think people should go to spring training because actually that's the fun part when you get to see the younger guys play in the stead of those
yes, and
playing for the pros.
And the Yankees non-roster invitees are stacked. You got Austin Wells going out there. You got Elijah Dunham going out there. Dominguez, Volpe. Like, you're getting the best prospects going in there. They added Randy Vasquez to the 40, Johnny Burrito. My buddy Sean Boyle got an invite. So that's really exciting too. But yeah, I mean, you have a lot of guys out there. They got 69 guys on the spring training roster. So I agree with you 100%. And the Yankees are only losing 3 notables to the Classic. It's Cortez, it's Loaiza, and Torres. Everyone else is there. And people are saying Volpe's going to get a bunch of looks at second base without Torres being there. People are starting to look forward to that a little bit.
Tell me about the fact that the closer role does seem so up in the air. We're baseball purists, and I think we always want that middle relief setup guy and then closer. It is different because they're using openers in the beginning of the game now. But anyway, the fact the Yankees go into this with an uncertainty of closer, does that make you a little worried or what?
Well, I think they have Clay Holmes slated right now. I'm not so worried because I think Loaiza is good backup. You could even see Peralta closing games the way he ended last year.
Yes.
And you got Michael King potentially, though he's going to be more of a 2-inning role, I think. Even Marinaccio, honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing him shut the door a few times. He was pretty damn good.
It was amazing. He would be in garbage games, right? Like in the beginning of the year, and it was like, who's this Rob Marinaccio? Turns out he plays
Tom's River, New Jersey.
Turns out he plays a vital role in that bullpen.
Him getting injured last year was a really big thing that no one talks about. Like, losing him was terrible. Like, that was not a loss the Yankees really stomached well. He could have gave some big innings that we needed. Would have helped out a lot. I'm looking forward to year 2 with him. I actually got to speak with him in Somerset too, because he was rehabbing, so that was really cool. But I think he's going to be great. I think the Yankees bullpen's in a nice spot. I really like Andrew Chafin. I wish the Yankees could add him. I doubt it, though, because of money, unfortunately. Maybe they could try to pinch something with Matt Moore for a little less money. Maybe. I don't really think Zach Brand's coming back. I don't really think anyone wants that anyway. I put that out there. No one's too interested.
No, that's tough. I mean, he was dominant for a while there. Hey, the left side is just going to be talked about for, I think, the first couple months of the year because you have IKF coming off a terrible postseason defensively. I still think he was scapegoated a little bit because he was a good hitter for the team. It's just his defensive, let's just say the Yankees listened to the fans on that one and benched him. And I don't know how right of a move that was. But that being said, some of the fan base hates the left side of the infield. They don't like IKF, which I don't understand. But they also don't like Donaldson, which you mentioned a little while ago. So what can we see? Are we going to see changes on that left side specifically? And how's DJ LeMahieu doing on the right side of the infield? I mean, come on now.
I know there's a lot of things in here. I'm not a big IKF person, but it's not IKF's fault. He was put in a position to fail by the Yankees ultimately. Like, they expected too much, and he's not that player. I mean, his defense should have been better at times, although some metrics rate him a lot better than people would think by watching him. Like, it's more stuff's coming up recently that he ranks 2nd or 3rd in some type of metric system for shortstops, but we see him make these errors on routine plays and not throwing the ball, and Rizzo having to save him. But I mean, he's an all right hitter. He's not going to hit for power, but he is a good contact bat at least, which they could use. It's just that we needed some power from the bottom of the lineup in certain times. He just wasn't that guy. I don't think he's going to end up starting. I think it is going to be Peraza. I think you're going to see Peraza at shortstop. We'll see. He has to go get that job, obviously, but he does seem to be the early favorite. Josh Donaldson, that situation's a nightmare. His contract's terrible. I know they're saying his bat's going to try to rebound, but I was talking to Foolish Baseball, and he thought Donaldson could break out last year, but he went the other way. And he was telling me he thinks he's completely cooked. He thinks age caught up to him, and I tend to agree. I'm not a really big Donaldson guy by any means. I think his defense was great, better than I thought, but his bat was so anemic. Like, I just can't stand to see him up there, like flailing at pitches and guessing where things are going, looking at strikes right down the middle. Like, I don't know what they're going to do at third. I hope it's DJ more often than not, though. That's where I would like to see DJ slot in. Wait, yeah, you were asking something else. I had
well,
to.
no, the fact
trying
that
to
it is
answer.
in general a 12-game slate against every.
Oh, right. Okay, yes, back to
that
that.
changes
So
the dynamic, right?
yeah, I think that's a little bit cool. I kind of got bored of playing the team 19 times, so I think it's cool that the division games mean more now. I feel like they got meaningless because you play them 19 times and you're getting when the Orioles weren't good, like that was a drag, and then like they would somehow beat the Yankees, like. Yeah, those games against, and now Orioles are good, so they're not as pushover anymore either. I don't think the Red Sox are the best team by any means, but they did make some improvements in their lineup. But like they did lose Bogarts, their pitching was kind of shitty. But I think it's going to be a lot more intense. You're right.
Very cool. Well, glad to have you on this podcast and that you make time, and we'll do this again. Good sir.
Thank you, bro. Let's get it.
I'm Alex Garrett. That was a sports spotlight on not only Julian Guilarte, but Dugout Station.